Hey guys, it's Sam and welcome to, I guess, a part 2 in my furry art journey. And if you missed the previous one, I'll put a link both in the description and in the iCard. I believe it's on that side. But yeah, go check it out if you haven't already. I'm just kind of expanding on what I already talked about there. So go check that out first and then come back here and watch this video. So this video, I have gone on some different tools and techniques with my furry stuff. So in the previous video, I mentioned a bit about using references and stuff, but this video, I'm going to talk about what I did after that. So again, still using references, but now with a bit of a twist. And if you've followed me for a hot minute, you probably know what it is, which is... That was a terrible drum roll. Tracing! Hey! Anyway, yes, I moved on in my adventure from just straight on referencing and looking at something and sort of replicating something similar to just straight up tracing. So what I did was I used Photoshop, so I opened up a new Photoshop file and I found a ton of different artworks that I like the style of, that I like the anatomy of, just some sort of aspect of the artwork that I really liked. I liked how they drew the hands, or I liked how they drew the feet, or I liked how they did the legs, or maybe there was a really good angle that I was struggling with that I needed help with that this person kind of already knew how to do. So I stacked up a bunch of these things, and it's literally like my tracing videos, which if you haven't already seen them, what are you doing? Go watch my tracing playlist, link in description and in the iCard. Still pretty sure it's on that side. And I just went through them one at a time, just sort of tracing them, paying attention. I talk about this more in my tracing videos, how I trace, and it made such a significant difference. I still cannot emphasize and suggest and push enough that tracing is such a valuable and important tool if you want to learn how to draw something. Wow, it just blew my mind. A lot of the things that I was really struggling with, namely the legs, I sort of figured out this idea and technique. I actually talked about it on a stream and I clipped it, so if you'd like to check out that in more detail, you've been here, all the links are in the description. The TLDR of it, I show visuals and stuff, so if you're struggling with Anthro legs, I recommend checking out the video. But a TLDR is, they are human legs, but with really long feet and standing on their toes. And I would not have easily, I believe, come to that same conclusion had I not done all this tracing and just sort of realized this pattern, saw this thing, and like being told something is one thing, but then like going through the measures and like experiencing yourself is such a different thing. And I believe people have told me that it's like that it's just, a person standing on their tippy toes, but it didn't click with me. It didn't mesh with how I was thinking. My brain is really stubborn, I guess. So after I did all these tracings, I really figured that out. I started to kind of get a handle on things. I started to feel more comfortable and more brave. And actually this picture that's being drawn right here, this sort of horse pony character, it was a stream store commission. And I went in with a lot more confidence because I did all these tracings, and just to prepare for this particular commission, I did do some horse tracing and some Anthro horse tracing, and it makes me feel more comfortable, more confident, and more able to produce something of my own. And if you don't already trace, I do recommend giving it a try. So that's pretty much the transition that I did. I started off doing referencing, and I did a lot of referencing, just sort of doing my own, but just things kept coming up that I was really fighting with, and I just didn't understand it. And I think for furries in particular, or I guess Anthro furries in particular, like you have that mixture of human anatomy and animal anatomy just meshed together and in a million different ways. Like there's so many different ways that you can do Anthro. It's incredible. And I feel very blessed that I'm able to encounter and interact with this community, and I appreciate everybody's kindness. Everyone's been really sweet to me, and I'm learning. So it's just really cool to see how everybody does these different twists, and by tracing all these different styles, you can kind of get a feel of the things that you can do yourself. Like, oh, this person did this, and they did it this way, but then, oh, I could do this with my thing, and then what if I like twisted it this way and did that? And I love that about tracing, and I love that about, and you can do this with referencing too, but to me, tracing feels more intimate and like you can really get in touch with what you're working with because your hands are right into it. And I don't get that same feeling when I'm doing referencing. And I'm not saying referencing is not good or it's bad or it's worse or anything. It's just a different experience. For me personally, I feel like tracing and starting to do more tracing has opened a lot of doors for me. And anyway, so between this video and the last video, I did do a lot of tracings. I tried to keep the number of artworks that I'm going to trace at a minimum because I keep piling up so many because there's so many super skilled people out there that are very inspiring. And so I try to keep it to like 20 pictures at most in my Photoshop file and then just delete them as I go. And yeah, so very excited about Anthro and furry, and I definitely want to explore more. I only had 2 recordings to share with this video. The first one was an OC of mine, the second one Stream Store commission, and then I just tossed in some artworks here at the end just to kind of show you some other ones that I've been working on. I didn't happen to record them, I'm sorry. But definitely check out my Twitch streams if you'd like an opportunity to see more of these drawings, because all this footage was from my Twitch streams. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. And best of luck with your furry journey or your art journey in general. Feel free to let me know what's going on with you in the comments down below. And yeah, tell me about your day. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!